All right, guys, we got something cool to talk about today, and something that it has a feature I'd never heard of before. You tell me in the comments once we get to that if I'm just nuts and I don't know what I'm talking about, because everybody's heard of that before. We'll get into it. So this is a Vosteed grind. It comes in a metal tin. This is not my favorite packaging because it's very easy to bend this up, and sometimes just in shipping and whatnot. The knife does come in a zippered pouch, and then the whole thing has like a cardboard sleeve that goes over it. So that's it for the packaging. Here's a little bit about this particular version, if you can read that. You can pause it, read it later if you like. We're going to talk about it. First off, it is just basically, it's a access style lock. They call it a crossbar lock with a Scandi grind. Now the Scandi grind is just a variation of a flat grind. I'm going to put a picture up here that shows a couple different grinds, and we're not going to get hardcore into different grinds in this video. Maybe I'll do a different video that talks about grinds, because I don't think I've done that before. So this has a Scandi grind, which basically just means that it angles down closer to the edge than a traditional flat grind or a hollow grind or any other kind of grind. You have just more meat here and a smaller bevel, in essence. But again, that's a topic for a different video. This thing is super crazy fidgety, and I love it. So the Vosteed Nightshade is the first time I'd seen a Vosteed a while back. Professor EDC lent me one, and I really liked it. And I should have maybe bought one at one point, but I didn't. And this one is equally cool. I don't get into pricing a lot, but lately people have been asking about pricing. And so I've been adding and talking about pricing. So at the time of filming, and again, this is just a snapshot in time, $75 for a crossbar lock, Scandi grind, 154 cm blade with micarta scales. Not a bad deal. Let's just start off with, kind of mix things up a little bit with a couple of size comparisons. There with the Sharpie, there with the Spyderco Delica, the Kubi KB237, D2 and G10 for about $50. So you have upgraded steel with the 154, and you have upgraded scales with the micarta. So you're at $75. Okay. How about the North Arms Skaha, which is about the same size? Not too shabby. And there you go for some size comparisons. Let's get into some of the specs. 4 3/8 closed, 7 5/8 overall with a 3.23 inch blade. It has a micro bevel at the end. So behind the edge on that is like 0.04. I don't even know if it's gonna show up. It's crazy. The secondary bevel, you can just barely see, right? Like there's a little bit of change in the reflection of the light. It's just crazy. It's there, but barely a micro bevel. And they actually call it a micro bevel. So everything else on the knife is very cool. I like the fuller. It's a little tough to get into to use it to open it, just because it's almost swallowed up by the scales, but that's okay. The frag pattern on the scales, not my favorite. It works in and out of the pocket, but it does hang up a little bit. The tension on the pocket clip is pretty strong. So as you're putting this in and out of your pocket, it is going to start to kind of shred your pocket. And you guys know what I mean by that. It works, but I don't know. I'd prefer maybe some flat area right here so that you didn't have that problem right there under the clip. Maybe a flat pad. That's a nitpick thing. It does have a lanyard hole if you're into that. The pocket clip is done exceptionally well, recessed into the micarta and using countersunk hardware. That's perfect. Kubi does it close, They recess it in, but they use that big button head screw. So it kind of negates the fact that they recessed the clip into the scale. You know, I'm kind of a clip Nazi, if you will. I don't know. I'm very particular on my pocket clips. They need to work. If they're not going to work well, then what's the point? Okay, so I totally spaced over. The thing that I didn't know about is the crossbar lock is adjustable. And I'll put a picture up here. There's 3 different levels of stiffness, of retraction. Okay. And I didn't take this apart, but I'll put a picture from their website. Basically, you have the Omega spring, and you've got 3 attachment points here so that you can make it stronger or less strong. And you can tune it the way you like. I think that is genius. I don't know. I never saw that. I never heard of that before. Am I just missing the boat, or is that like a thing that's happened a lot and Dirk just needs to get on board and like understand what he's talking about? I don't know. You tell me in the comments. All in all, yeah, I think for $75, this thing's a winner. It's Benchmade bug out-ish. I like the blade shape and style better than the bug out. The bug out is too expensive. Sure, it's made in America, but yeah, okay, whatever. Not that I'm against that. That sounded rude. I have no problem with things made in China or Taiwan. I have no problems with knives made anywhere if they're made quality and the price point's right. Just because you're made in America, should it be 2, 3, 4 times more? I don't know. That's a different topic. Let me know your thoughts. I think this is cool. If anybody owns one, let me know over time. How do you like it? So thanks for watching, guys. Have yourselves a fantastic day. I'll put a link to either my Nightshade video or a Vosteed playlist, because I've done a couple of them now. And I don't know if I made a playlist or not, but I'll link that up in the corner so you can check out some other options from them. I think they have a great line of budget affordable knives.